Hello students, I hope you all are fine and you are also preparing for your final examination. Today I am going to start a new chapter which is chapter number 13, which is atmospheric pressure and winds. In this chapter we are talking about the atmospheric pressure, which is very important for the sustaining of life on the earth. And another one is the wind. We know that air is a mixture of gases. We know very well. And as this air is moving, this is called winds. From since childhood you are talking about or studying about. And we also know that in physics, we studied in physics that the air occupies space and has weight and mass. Okay. In chemistry also you have studied this. So this is all about your all subjects. You just uh, carry your knowledge of chemistry, physics and other subjects also with this chapter, then it is very easy to understand. So this is the concept of air pressure, and we also know that what is the definition of air pressure. It is the force exerted against the surface of continuous collision of gas molecules. This is the definition of air pressure. And we also know that you also know that it is influenced by these two factors, which is the density and temperature. How is density and temperature? Because as the pressure is increases or decreases, so because of the density and the temperature, this density and temperature is very important part. And the atmospheric exerted, which is how much, which is 1034 gram per square centimeter. This is the exerted pressure, atmospheric pressure, which is on the sea level. Okay. And one more thing, we do not feel any pressure on the earth. Why? Do you know? Because we also have a pressure inside our body, and the inside our body and the pressure exerted by the atmosphere, these both are oppositively equal. That's why we cannot. But as we move go higher, just imagine, if you will go in higher, then automatically you burst. Just like if you have observed the balloon, sometimes you have observed the balloon, the gas balloon which can fly. So on certain height it will go and automatically burst. Why? Because that inner pressure of the balloon and the atmospheric pressure outside, these both are not equal, and because of that they cannot sustain, and that's why the balloon burst. So this is the examples already you have studied in the physics, chemistry. This is all about that. And there is an instrument by which we can measure the atmospheric pressure. It is called the barometer. Okay, there are two or three types of aneroid barometer, and another one is the mercury barometer. But generally a good measurement gives, it is the mercury barometer. And there is also another important factor, the temperature and the density are all I told. So on the 15 degrees Celsius, how much? On the 15 degrees Celsius till the 45 degree in the north latitudes, it's carries 1013. And another one is, if it is in millimeter, 76 millimeter. If you measure in 76 millimeter, okay, 76 millimeter of mercury, this is the measurement unit. Okay, millimeter of mercury, and it is equivalent to 29.92 inches. You can read. It's my always request that before watching this video you have to read the book, then it is very easy to understand. So this is all about the atmospheric pressure. But now we are talking about the factors affecting the atmospheric pressure. So basically there are four factors, but in your book there are only three are given. First is the altitude. What is altitude? Already we have observed, as we move go higher up, the it inversely proportional. So how? If we are going higher, the pressure is decreases. You know why? Because in the lower level, on the surface, near to the surface, the molecules of air is higher, and as we move go higher, the molecules are decreases, and because of that the amount, you can also understand, the amount on higher altitude and lower altitude is different. That's why what, as we move go higher, the atmospheric pressure decreases. So that's why here you can see the point, the air pressure decreases with altitude, and the air pressure is the highest at the sea level. So at the sea level it is highest, at the high altitude it is decreases. Second one, it is the temperature, which already discussed. So how this temperature? Because we also know that as the temperature increases, so the molecules in the air molecules, they are going away from each other, they spread it, and it becomes lighter, the air becomes lighter, and because of that what will happen? Obviously the pressure is lower, because what is in the pressure, it is in the molecules. If the higher number of molecules of air, then higher pressure. If less number of molecules, then less pressure. So then heating, so heating is also affecting the temperature. Okay, so you can see here, cold air is denser and the exerts more pressure, and hot air is lighter and the exerts less pressure. Next one, which is the rotation of the earth. What is this rotation of the earth, which is called Coriolis effect? Actually its main effect is deflection. Okay, just like this is the earth, in the center there is no deflection, but in the other way here it is like the deflection. It is that a clockwise in the northern and the anti-clockwise in the southern part. Okay, southern hemisphere deflection, or we can say that the right deflection it is in the northern hemisphere, and the left deflection it is in the, already we have discussed in the last part also. Okay, so this is the rotation of the earth. So near the equator there is no pressure. Okay, or we can say that there is no movement, but in low pressure away from the equator, in high pressure. Okay, so high pressure at the pole, and low pressure is near to the equator, it is due to it. And the pressure of the water vapor, how this water vapor? Because moist air exerts less pressure than the dry air. Okay, so this is all are the factors which are influencing. This is not in your course, but it is given. So because water vapor is also a factor, it also influences. Next one we are talking about that the distribution of pressure on the surface of the earth, distribution of pressure on the earth's surface by the pressure belts. So we also know that there are 5 pressure belts in the center: uh, equator, subtropical, temperate, and polar. How these are? Because in the center from 50 to 50 to 5 in north and south, here 35 to 25, here 66 to 55, here 75 to 90, and same like that here it is also in the both hemisphere, these are the same pressure. Okay, how these are created? Actually because of this, the sun energy, because of the sun energy in the center. If the temperature is very high, already have discussed, if the temperature is very high, so what will happen? The molecules of air are dispersed, and because of that it creates a low pressure in the center. Here there is a less pressure, less temperature, that's why here it is a high pressure, then again low pressure, then again high pressure. So where the temperature is low, there is a high pressure, and where the temperature is high, the pressure is low. So by this way these air pressure are the we can say that the pressure belts are formed, and these are called the equatorial low pressure belts. This is also called the intertropical convergence zone. Why? And also doldrum. Why? Because these all winds are coming here, the divergent here. Okay, I'm talking in the another the next diagram. Okay, this equatorial is also called the doldrum. Another one is the subtropical uh, subtro- subtropical high pressure belts. It is also called the horse latitude. Why? Because earlier time while the moving from the ship, this is a very low pressure, and the no wind is moving. Because of that the horse sellers, they just drop the horses from here, and because of that it is called the horse latitude. And the another one, it is the polar high pressure belts. The polar high pressure belts, because here sorry, there is one left, the subpolar low pressure belts. Here it is in the 55 to 60 degree north, and it is due to the Coriolis effect, it is also deflected in right, and here it is in the left. And last one, it is the polar high pressure belt. These polar high pressure belts are on the top of that, because it creates high pressure because the temperature is very low. So this is all about. Now you just understand only this, remember. Okay, in the next diagram you can very easily understand what are these in the different, that because of the temperature, low pressure, high pressure, high pressure, low pressure, low pressure, high pressure, high pressure. So because of that there are 5 different zones. These are the equatorial low pressure belt, then subtropical high pressure belts, then temperate, then polar. Generally it is a 4: equatorial, subtropical, temperate, and polar. Okay, but here 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, okay, 4. Then we are talking about the wind system, which is a very important part of this chapter. Okay, generally, actually if you are going to read this chapter, then you are you understand very easily. So don't be confused. You feel that this chapter is very difficult, but it is not that much difficult. Just go in very easy way. Basically you understand the only basic concept. If you understand the basic concept, then it is very easy. So basically there are three types of winds. These are called primary winds, which is also called the permanent winds. Because they, why they are permanent? Because on a particular direction throughout the year they are moving on the earth in a particular direction, in a particular belt. This is called the permanent winds or primary circulation. Second one, it is the secondary circulation or the periodic. Periodic, it means in a particular period, either particular day or either in a particular season. So that's why they are called the periodic winds. In the tertiary, they are the local winds. We can say they're the local winds. Why? Because in particular local areas, in a particular that country or particular area, particular belt, they are blowing. That's why it is called the term. So basically there are three types of wind: permanent winds, periodic winds, and the local winds. First of all, I'm talking about the primary or the permanent winds. Trade winds, westerlies, polar winds, or jet. So this year, jet and El Nino, which is not in your course, but just let me clear you what is jet. Jet streams are the permanent, very fast moving air in a particular belt of the earth. And the El Nino, which is the effect of due to the water bodies, and because of that, it influences the every 4 year the rainfall. It influences the rainfall, but this year it is not in your course. We are talking about only the trade winds, westerlies, and polar winds. So just understand this. What is this? So here you can see that the wind. Now what will happen? Basically this is the belt. Now you can see here, it is the zone, which is which kind of zone? Low. So because of that, the air get ascended means ऊपर उठती यहाँ से, then ascended, and it will go this way. Okay, and here it is also going in this way. And from the downside, here from downside the wind is, now how it is going on? Because here it is the warm air, it is rising up and moving here, and here in this two belts there is a cold air. They are going here down from the downside. Here it is up from the upside, and here it is from the downside. And because of that, this is the movement like that. Okay, because of that, this movement, the winds are start blowing. Because we know that due to the air difference, the temperature difference, air temperature difference, the always movement from the high pressure to the low pressure. So here it is the high pressure, and here it is the low pressure, and due to it, what will happen? It is a movement like that. So this way this air is moving, and here it is, this way is moving. So here it is northeast, and here it is the southeast. This is the movement. Just opposite here. Now you can see that here it is ascending, because here it is the low pressure, the high temperature is here. It is ascending from here, so it is moving in both direction. But from the low side it is coming here, and from low side it is coming here. So by this way it is like this. So this is movement here, this movement is here, same like that. So these are the different ways. And because of this moving air, because of this pressure zones, the air is moving. That's why. So the air which is blowing in the central part, it is called the trade winds. What is called? Trade winds. And because of its direction, it is also called that the northeast trade winds and southeast trade winds, which is in the northeast trade winds, south in the southeast trade winds. And just opposite it, which are moving in eastern, it is called easterlies or trade winds, and those are moving in western side, so it is called the westerlies. So in this zone, these are called the westerlies. Okay, and the polar easterlies, polar winds which are blowing in the polar area, they are the polar easterlies. So this is the basic concept. Okay, and because of the ascending and descending, I already understand this movement of the air. Okay, and from downside, by this way it is moving, by this way it is moving. So they are creating pressure in particular zone, they are moving. That's why these are called trade winds, westerlies, and polar easterlies. I hope you clear. You just see diagrams again, then you can understand very easily. And there are also some local names, because these anti-trade winds, the vessel is also called the anti-trade, because it is just opposite to trade winds. So that's why it is called anti-trade winds. And also there is a particular, now see, in heat zone here, because here it is Africa, and here there is a clear zone, because there is no land mass here. So in 40 degrees south and 50 degrees south, what will happen? The wind is blowing very fast, and that's why this is called the roaring 40s and furious 50s. It is very uh, famous name for here. What is it called? Roaring 40s and furious 50s. These are named because of this clear zone of it. And this policy is already I cleared you. In these, what is the basic difference between that permanent and periodic winds? The permanent winds are moving continuously in a particular area, and these periodic winds in a particular area. So I am going with a periodic winds. The periodic winds are also two types: the land breeze or sea breeze, which is a daily basis, and monsoon, which is on the season base for the longer period of time. So land breeze and sea breeze, what is this land breeze and sea breeze? So basically it is nothing, already we have discussed that there is a differential in the temperature. There is a differential, or we can say the variation in the local temperature, pressure or humidity. Because of that these periodic winds blow. But for these land breeze and sea breeze, what will happen? The difference in the temperature here in the land masses, it slows and hot, and also slow. These both hotting and cooling, these both are very slow, and in the land it is very fast. So because of the in the daytime land breeze are going, and at the night time that sea breeze are going. So because of that this movement, the land and the sea, these are the movement. That's why it is called the land breeze and sea breeze. Even from the even class from 6th onwards you also studying about what is the land breeze and sea breeze. So that's why no need to too much explanation. Here there is a monsoon seasonal wind. What is the monsoon seasonal wind? Actually this word is coming from the Arabic word, which is from the mosin or mosim. Okay, it means the season. Okay, and it is divided into two parts: summer monsoon and the winter monsoon. What is this summer monsoon, winter monsoon? Just understand. So now what will happen? Actually in the particular time period here, it is in the land part, it got heated, and because of that it creates a low pressure, and here it is a high pressure. So I already told that it got heated and the wind is moving upward side from the downward sides. Here it is the cold area because here is the water. So because of that the pressure is created in summer, and the wind is blowing from southeast, and it is moving from here. You can see there are some arrows here. Okay, these winds are moving from here. Okay, so this is the summer monsoon. Okay, and just opposite to it, then the water is falling here, and then after just then wind is again changing its direction from here to there, from northeast to southwest. And these two season changes, it is called the monsoon winds. So in 6 months they are moving from southeast, then from 6 months they are moving from the northeast, and because of that India is influencing even the getting rainfall and both the things. Okay, so this is the winter monsoon. Then next one, it is the tertiary circulation, which is also called the local winds. The local winds in it, first of all, the mountain and the valley winds. These mountain winds are called the katabatic, and the valley winds it is called the anabatic. This katabatic is often at the night time. Okay, basically it is nothing, it is just like we have already discussed, due to the rising and this lower down. So it is in the valley, and it is the mountain areas due to the surface. If the surface is hot or cold, so because of that the wind is changing their temperature, and in the valley area it is also cooling because of this anabatic. So anabatic and katabatic, these are the two factors which are locally influencing cold or hotness because of the surface changes temperature. Okay, so hot local winds and cold local winds. So another one is the uh, hot local winds and cold local winds. So what are these? Fohn, Kashmir, Chinook, Lu, Sirocco and Zonda. These all are the hot local winds. And second one is the cold local winds: Mistral, blizzards, Bora, Nevruz, Polar, August. So actually it is nothing, you have to, these are the different names on a different location, you just learn it. It is nothing to explain. So you have to go and learn these all names. Okay, the hot local winds, just like the Harmattan, Kashim, Lu, Sirocco and Zonda. And some like the cold local winds, just like blizzards, Boro, Buran, Ferizem. It is also called Surazo, Grele, Levanter, Mastero, Mistral, Fawn, and Nevadazo, Norete, Northair, Parmiro, Papaguayo, Polar Outbreak, Puraga, Solana, Southerly Busters, Turamonto, Vedan Valleys, and Williway. Maybe the pronunciation is not appropriate because I don't know the different languages. Okay, because in particular language they are pronounced differently. So no, don't go for it, but you only just understand. Just go and read in which area what kind of, just like there is a zonda which is in the southern America, and there is a chinook which is in the northern America. So these are differently named. Okay, where what, so you have to learn, there is nothing to explain. So these all are the local winds. In these local winds there is also one more concept which is talking about these cyclones or anticyclones. What are these cyclones and anticyclones? So cyclones and anticyclones are nothing. These are the local area pressure created due to the hot and cold winds. They are created a pressure, and due to it, the very fast thunder storming with rainfall with a very fast moving air, they created a circular movement of air. This is called the cyclones. And these are two types, cyclones and anticyclones. What is the difference? We understand. Basically, you just understand this anticyclones direction, it is in the northern hemisphere, and the clockwise direction it is in the southern hemisphere. And they are also named differently in a different location, just like the typhoons, which is in the South China Sea, hurricanes, it is in the Caribbean Sea, willy willies, which is in the North Australia, tornadoes, which is in USA. They are named differently. And if talking about the origin, so these are generally origin because of the thermal temperature, the difference in the temperature. I already explained you the shape and size of the tropical cyclones. Uh, it covers near about 100 to 150 kilometers area. And there is a cyclone, it is in center, it is called the eye of the cyclones, and it also covers 30 to 50 kilometers. Okay, this is that. And the cold air masses, which is known as the front, and the hot air, it is called the warm front. There are two types of front, cold front and warm front. What is the front? Front is nothing, the movement of air, the front. Okay, when these both meet on this place, this is called the front, or we call the front is a zone of contact between the two types of winds. Okay, and due to it is created. So what is the difference here? You just have to remember that just like this is the cyclones, so what will happen, there is a low pressure created, and outer side there is a high pressure created, and because of that what they are moving inside, this movement it is called the cyclones. And just opposite, in the center there is a high pressure, and outside there is a low pressure. So this air is moving outwards. Okay, here it is inward, here it is outward. So this is the inward movement, it is called the cyclones. Outward movement, it is called the anticyclones. Only you have to remember, in the cyclones, in the low pressure center and outer side there is a high pressure. In the anticyclones center there is a high pressure and the low pressure on the outer side. But their movement is also opposite according to the northern hemisphere. Just like here you can see in the northern hemisphere, the cyclones and anticyclones like this direction, and in the southern hemisphere the cyclones and anticyclones by this direction. So it is all about that. Only once you have to read, don't take too much tension, and don't make it a very difficult, because while reading the book you just feel that it is very difficult, but it is not that much difficult. You just go and understand the basic concept. If you understand the basic concept, the temperature, the density, the how the air is moving, how the altitude, it means the height, is influencing. So if you remember this all basic concept, then this lecture is this topic is very easy for you. So it's my again request, you have to read the book before this lecture. Again, after watching this video, you have to read the books, then the whole chapter you can understand. You have to understand only the concept, don't go for learning. Okay, automatically you can learn. So thank you so much. If still you are having any dikkat, pareshani, duvida, shankar, trouble, whatever you are, you just write to comment, I will try to answer it. Thank you so much, have a nice time.